My name is Anand Sinha. I am the co-founder and trustee for Robinhood Army. I've also co-founded another startup called Press Play. But today, obviously, we will talk about Robinhood. Um, so Robinhood is a volunteer-driven organization. What we do is very, very simple. We collect excess food from restaurants and we try and distribute it to people, to underprivileged people. So we realized that the problem, essentially the problem that we are trying to solve is of hunger, right? As in we realize that there are so many people out there who don't know where their next meal is coming from, and so we have taken a first step towards trying to sort of solve that problem. We are now we started 2 years back. We are now in 10 countries. Uh, Me and my co-founder started it, and now we have more than 7,000 volunteers across these 10 countries. So it's been a good ride. It's only been 2 years, and obviously we are learning as we go, but it's been a good ride. So today's topic, right, Ignite. When I was just trying to sort of prepare for my speech, I tried to remember, how I went back in time, 2 years back in time. I was just trying to remember how things came together for us, and I realized that most of us here, including myself, we've had a very privileged sort of upbringing, right? As in we've never had to worry about stuff like यार रात को खाने में क्या मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा. We have obviously we've been lucky enough to have our parents sort of support us through the journey, but during this upbringing also what I've realized, now I'm 29. Now when I look back at my younger years, I sort of realized that there was always this layer of society which coexisted with us, right? Of people who are living on the streets, of people who are living under the flyovers, but somehow we just never chose to do anything about it. We were sort of coexisting, but very indifferently, right? As in there is nothing much that at least while growing up in my this thing, there was nothing much that I did or contributed in any way. So, and also then I thought that why is that, right? As in why is it that we were just talking about the sort of gap which is widening between the rich and the poor in India, and why is it that we have not been able to do anything? And then the usual sort of reasons came to mind, which are not excuses, by the way, right? Those are genuine, justified reasons that we all have crazy working hours, we have relationships to manage, we have 10,000 things going on in our lives, but unfortunately just not able to take out time for stuff. A lot of us will donate some money, which is obviously great, but not easy to take out time, to actually help someone as such. So we've all seen people, we've all seen kids begging on the roads, people living under flyovers, people sometimes dying, of accidents of drunken driving, but people dying on the roads. But as I said, unfortunately, just not have been able to take out the time. So how it all started was that couple of years, not couple of years actually, now 7 years back when I was in my first job, that's when I met my Robinhood co-founder, Neel, and very simple, right? As in, so so we had both just quit our jobs, and there was a tradition in the team that the team will buy you a farewell gift. So they all pooled in some money, and ultimately they asked us, "Ki yaar, karna kya hai? What do you guys want?" And so I thought of the usual things, right? As in I thought of a watch, wallet, maybe tickets to Goa, and all of that, all of the usual suspects sort of came to my mind. But I don't know how or what sort of took over us, but we decided that let's use that money and take some kids for a movie, right? A very simple sort of idea. So what we did was, so this is a 7-year-old picture. That's my co-founder Neel in green, and I'm the one in yellow. So we just we took 6 kids to for a simple movie and a meal. So what happened that day actually, I think, changed our lives quite a bit, right? And that was our aha moment. Ki yaar, we must act. So what we realized was the lot of things that we actually take for granted, that as for something as simple as our next meal, right? But it's a luxury for all these guys, as in for a lot of people in India. So we thought कि यार मतलब we must do something. We must take out whatever time that we can and try and make a difference. So this actually I saw this on social media a few days back, and it just made a lot of sense that yes, it's a good quote, but if you just take out 2 seconds and actually think about it, it made a lot of sense to me that there are actually people who would love to have our bad days, right? And we crib and we cry about a lot of things, but they might a lot of people will actually treasure that as well. So yeah, so also coming to the problem, right? As in, so what is the problem that we are trying to solve when we talk about hunger? Yes, there are millions of things that are, the millions of people who are sort of going without a meal. But these are just some, stats that I actually threw in just so that we can actually understand the gravity of the problem that we are trying to solve. So there are 795 million people across the globe which are undernourished, out of which almost 100, I think numbers missing, out of which almost 150 million comes from India. So it's a huge chunk, right? And hunger kills more people each year than AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis combined. So even that's a pretty staggering fact. Now the problem is that the food production as such is not a problem, right? As in we have so much wastage which happens everywhere, all around us, even inside our homes. The problem as such is that the food was not reaching the poor. What we did was we started dreaming, right? As in we realized that there's a huge problem that needs to be solved. There are millions of people who don't know where their next meal is coming from. So we started dreaming, as in we thought that we actually wanted to make a difference. So this is a 2-year-old picture. This is how it all started for the Robin Hood Army. What we did, Neel and I, what we did was we called 15 of our friends back in August 2014, and we planned like a get together where we'll all come and we'll pull in some money and we'll buy food, and then we'll just go to and distribute that to people living under flyovers. So 5 people out of the 15 showed up, right? And you can see there's some food in the boot of my car. So we drove around near Green Park, IT, all those areas in Delhi, and we started distributing food. So we realized that so after that another problem came in, was that we started even our close friends, right? Not everyone started showing up. People started losing motivation. Some people actually started blaming us that we are making the needy dependent on us, so we should empower them with education and all of that. So a lot of these sort of debates started happening. But then we realized that we have a challenge in front of us which money or even more food actually could not solve. And now I'm talking about motivation. So we stumbled upon something which again looking back, which I call passion, right? Which is grit. And by that I mean that actually just never giving up, not taking no for an answer, and not giving up till the time you actually hit your goal. So what we did was very simple. We thought, let's reach out to more people, right? That's what social media has enabled us to do. So we started basically messaging everyone that we knew in our networks that please let's just get together and do something. So the group became slightly bigger. We had more food coming in. So all of that started happening. We got some media attention as well. We had a few events around Independence Day, around Diwali. Eminent personalities came forward. So now all of this came together, and suddenly the whole thing exploded, right? So this is almost 12 months back when. I think 12 months back when we were just in Delhi, but I think within a span of couple of months we were there in 10 cities in India. We had volunteer requests coming from all across the country, and still we never had any formalized channel as such, right? It was just again a Facebook page that we had, which we actually created so that we could mobilize more support. So then we actually stumbled on our next sort of point as such, which is belief. So we started dreaming. We started working hard. We didn't give up in the middle, and then when everything started coming together, but then we actually started believing that yes, even though the movement started small, and we had our struggles, but we can actually make a difference. And this, I think, not only in the social space, even though I'm talking about Robin Hood today, but even whatever career that we choose or in life, I think this holds key, right? As in we must believe that we can make a difference, even if we start very small. So now all of this is combined, and now we just launched Mexico a couple of days back. So that's our latest country, and now we are in 10 countries across the globe. So these are the sort of 4 or 5 points. I have a very short talk, but these are the 4 or 5 points that I want to leave you guys with. That what started off as a simple movie and a meal for 6 underprivileged kids in 7 years back has actually turned into a movement today, which is spread across 10 countries. And in terms of just another stat, we on an average now serve 100,000 people per week, which is a huge number, right? As in and another very interesting thing is that Robin Hood Army is actually, when I keep saying this, repeating this, right? It's volunteer driven. So there you will not find any rules, no regulation, not at all, nothing like that. In fact, no one actually does full time. I have a full time job. My co-founder has a full time job. It's only that couple of hours on a Sunday that we can take out, which initially we used to crib about a bit. Our time nahi hai, we are extremely tired. We work 5-6 days a week. But now that we have more support, we have more people, so we have actually been able to make a difference. And obviously, when all of these when all of these points come together, then we experience magic, right? As in that's when everything becomes worth it. All the struggle becomes worth it. And in our case, it's sort of these smiles and it's the happy faces that make it worth for us. And of course, the love also is very, very important. Thank you so much.